We're going on a road trip to Greenville on Interstate 385. Come on, let's go. Alright everyone, today I'm doing Interstate 385 in the Greenville area. So the reason I'm doing this highway is because my family is going to be relocating there, and I'm going to be on it all the time. And plus, I've actually also been on a little bit of Interstate 385 in Greenville, like a long time ago, like 10 years ago. So I'm excited to do this highway as a video, so let's get started. But first, you've been watching TheDerpHog, where I make all sorts of highway content based off of random topics. If you've been enjoying my content, be sure to hit that like button, and if you've been really enjoying it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it really helps out a ton. Also, I am open to extra requests for future videos. If you want to check out all the future highways, be sure to read in the description below as where I put them, and if you have any extra requests for those, please put them down in the comment section below and I'll make sure to get it out to you. So let's get started with the highway. As you can see here, this is the entire route of Interstate 385. It starts all the way up here in downtown Greenville and goes around the eastern side of Greenville and heads all the way down here to Interstate 26, where it ends there at a Y junction. So we're going to be talking about northbound Interstate 385. So we begin here at Interstate 26 on westbound 26, and we only have a Y junction, so we only have access to Interstate 385 going westbound on Interstate 26, and we're signed for Lawrence and Greenville, which are good choices. And our first exit on Interstate 385 is for Route 308, and it's exit 2. And our first mileage sign here on Interstate 385, we get Greenville on the bottom line at 41 miles away. That is awesome. And here's a weird thing, Interstate 385 actually has a rest stop between its medians. I read that was part of US 276 when Interstate 385 was 276, like a long time ago, so they built it to save money instead of just having it on both sides of 385. And now we're meeting US Highway 221, which is the reason we were signed for Lawrence on Interstate 26. And then about 13 miles up the road, we're meeting South Carolina Highway 14, and it's signed west for Fountain Inn. Here's the other exit for Fountain Inn, which is County Route 418. And now we're entering into the Greenville area, where we're meeting Interstate 185, which is sort of the Western Beltway of Greenville, and it's also tolled. And we're now signed north for Greenville. And once we take a turn to the east, we're actually paralleling the Interstate 185 lanes, and then soon enough, they're going to be actually merging into 385. Now we're meeting Interstate 85, and it's signed for Spartanburg and Atlanta, which are good choices. Honestly, you could replace Spartanburg with Charlotte because that's the next major city, but Spartanburg is still a good choice because of the Greenville-Spartanburg metro area. Here's the last exit on Interstate 385 here in the Greenville area, and it's signed for US 276, which actually gets the Kentucky treatment and a control city, which is Traveler's Rest. And here's the ending to 385, but we're going to be continuing forward into downtown Greenville, because from here till the US 29, it was actually known as Business 385. And here's the end of Business 385 here at US 29. We also get a nice 2 Interstate 185 shields, that's pretty cool. So we're going to be turning around and doing southbound Interstate 385. So we begin here on US 29, where we have a 2 Interstate 385 shield. And if you turn right onto the street, you'll be at Interstate 385, roughly half a mile down the road. And we have our first exit for US 276. And this way we only get the Kentucky treatment. Why? Here we're meeting the Greenville Downtown Airport, and now we're still signed for Spartanburg and Columbia. Here's the exit for all the Greenville shops, and there is a lot of them. As you can see here, it covers the entire 385 and 85 interchange area. This area kind of reminds me of the Crossroads Shopping Center here in Cary. Now we're meeting Interstate 85 just a mile down the road, and it's signed for Atlanta and Spartanburg, while we're signed south for Columbia. we'll mean Interstate 185 once again, and we're going to be paralleling the lanes for a short time before we take a turn to the south. And we're still signed south for Columbia. Here's the exit for the Fountain Inn. And once we get onto here, we have a Fountain Inn city limit. So we're going to be following Harrison Bridge Road down to South Carolina 14. Here's the South Carolina 14 junction, and we're going to be taking a right here. And once we take a right onto that road, we actually see a City of Fountain Inn sign. So they're welcoming us. That's pretty cool. And this is Downtown Fountain Inn. It kind of reminds me of what Fuquay used to look like before it was developed. And shortly later, we are merging back into Interstate 385, and it looks like Interstate 385 here is now down to 2 lanes instead of a multi-lane freeway. And our next mileage sign, we get Columbia on the bottom line at 78 miles away. Well, that's because we're meeting Interstate 26, because 385 doesn't go to Columbia. And here we're meeting US Highway 221 once again, further down the road. And then 9 miles down the road, we merge back into Interstate 26 East. And sadly, we have no access to Interstate 26 West, because it's a Y junction. So we end Interstate 385 here, and move on to, the places I'll go. So these are all the places that I visit on Interstate 385 when I go down to the Greenville area to visit my family. I like to visit the rest stop in the median on 385, and then the town of Fountain Inn, along with the town of Simpsonville, which is just north of Fountain Inn, and then the town of Malden on US 276. And then I actually love to revisit Downtown Greenville, because I've actually been, I stayed the night on a moving trip, so I'd love to explore the Greenville area. And then again, visit all the various attractions in Greenville. So that ends Interstate 385. Thank y'all so much for watching this short video on Interstate 385. I hope you learned something new about the highway, and I'm very excited to be traveling on this highway a lot in the next couple of years. So with that, these are my plans for my next few highways. I'm going to be doing the US 20 series, which I'm completely finished, and it'll run from May 6th all the way over to June 4th. After that, I'm going to be doing the St. Louis Beltway for the UFL Championship, and after I'm done with that, I'm going to be working on US Highway 421, and then once I'm done with 421, I'm going to be doing all the child routes of Interstate 64 in the Norfolk area. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all when I do US 20.